Thanks. A Cambellsport volunteer firefighter accused of sexually assaulting a teenage girl appearing in court today as we learn new details about the charges against 34-year-old Nicholas Benzing. Samantha Cavalli was at the hearing. She's live in the Fox Valley newsroom with more details. Samantha.
Right, Cammie, court documents reveal that Benzing knew the 13-year-old victim. The girl told Cambellsport police of different incidents within the past few months where Benzing touched her inappropriately, and it made her feel, quote, not good and gross. Also, those documents detail an interview with police where Benzing broke down in tears while admitting he had intrusive thoughts, but said he doesn't, quote, think it had anything to do with underage people at all. I'm not that kind of person, end quote. Benzing has been placed on suspended leave with the village, but as of just a few minutes ago, his name is still listed on the Cambellsport Fire Department's website as a firefighter and an EMT. He was arrested this past Saturday. Here's a sample of what was said by prosecutors at today's hearing regarding bond.
Conditions of no contact with victim 1, the immediate family, the residents, and the school, as well as no unsupervised contact with females under the age of 18, no use or possession of dangerous weapons.
Now, bond was set at $25,000, and Benzing is due back in court on April 3rd. Also, the village administrator releasing a statement saying, quote, these allegations are a shock. Reporting live in the Fox Valley newsroom, Samantha Cavalli, Action 2 News.